Has Joseph Kosinski really found his action-making movie filmmaking groove? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of F1 the Movie, the newest film from director Joseph Kosinski. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in the newest $350 million budgeted film that is F1 the Movie, Brad Pitt plays a washed up race car driver. He's old, he's been injured, who is basically hired and recruited by a old friend who's played by Javier Bardem to help out a young cocky individual driver who's played by Damson Idris to basically help them win at least one race or place in one race, or Javier Bardem's character is going to lose his company. And so what this movie is basically a portrayal of a old washed up driver or old washed up individual who has to help out a cocky young individual basically become and move past the problems that they represent. Well, because this is F1 driving, or F1 the movie, it is a movie about race car driving and about a world that is high speed, that is energetic, and each second could be the last moment of your life if you are not careful. But it's a movie about an individual who wants to find his purpose in life after he lost everything after an incident back in his youth. So with that said, that is F1 the movie. It also has Kerry Condon in it, people like Tobias Menzies and Niles in it, and is basically a big budgeted action race car driving movie that is a summer blockbuster in a lot of respects. Okay, so with that said, I've been highly anticipating this movie. I think Joseph Kosinski is starting to find his groove. Top Gun Maverick was a truly surprising film. I think Only the Brave is a movie that's very underrated. I think everyone should see what kind of like how he works in the action space. But he's had a couple of movies that haven't been great, like Tron Legacy and of course Oblivion. But there is a level that Joseph Kosinski is working on, similar like Christopher McQuarrie, that seems to be something truly special, like the Christopher Nolan and stuff like that. So Joseph Kosinski was given a gigantic budget for this film. They claim that it wasn't $350 million, but when you watch it, it looks like a very expensive movie. But after Top Gun Maverick, I can see why they would give him this type of budget. And it's Apple, they're willing to experiment. But once again, this movie looked awesome. I heard some incredible things about this movie, about its action sequences, its race car sequences, and stuff like that. So I've been looking forward to it. It's like one of the most anticipated movies of the year. So with that said, this on a technical standpoint is one of the most impressive movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it's up there with like the Christopher Nolan and what he's capable of doing. The race car sequences are absolutely mind-blowing to watch. If you have an IMAX theater that has the ability to show this in full IMAX, go see it, because the whole movie's in full IMAX. Outside of like a small sequence at the beginning, it literally is in full IMAX. So if you have that ability, the race cars, there's some scenes in this movie where I don't understand how Joseph Kosinski and his crew was able to pull it off. There's some things that you can tell probably were CG, but this movie is top tier action filmmaking. It's top tier summer popcorn budgeted film. It's a movie that works on all levels when it comes to its technical quality. There are moments in this that are thrilling. There are moments in this that are awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping. You could be on a drone following the car. You could like spin down. They are going back and forth between the front of the car and the back of the car. You're seeing people, like I said, like Brad Pitt and Idris in the car itself. So I'm assuming they allowed them to drive the cars, or at least had someone help them out. It's just an awe-inspiring film to watch. It is one of the most incredible movie-going experiences I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's impressive what a budget can get you, but it's impressive of what Joseph Kosinski has been able to do in his years as a director at this point, and how he is able to master a very thrilling action sequence. And what I mean by that is, like, it feels so banal that they would shoot like real close-up angles, but that's what makes it thrilling. That's what makes an action sequences so good, is you're able to make the audience feel like they're in that sequence. There's a point at the end when you're just floating across the track, and there is no car that you're sitting on. You're just floating like you're flying, and it like takes your breath away. I mean, it blew my mind on how amazing this movie was on that level. And it's nonstop, and like each because this is a 2.5 hour movie, each race gets its like due and gets its like speciality. And you know, I love that kind of stuff. I think, you know, the fact that we have, I'm sure, real F1 drivers, because I don't know much about F1 racing, but we get real F1 drivers and stuff like that, really helps this movie to work on the levels that it does. But on top of everything, I think Brad Pitt works as he always does. He's charismatic, he's charming, he works well off like the young cast and the main cast. I mean, yeah, there is a love interest with the Kerry Condon character, and there's the back and forth with the Javier Bardem character, who actually I thought was going to be like the villain of the story, but more is sympathetic, is just, I need something out of my life. And then Damson Idris, who plays the young driver, works well off of course, Brad Pitt. But the main issue of this movie is it's just very standard in storytelling. It's very by the book. You've seen it a million times before. The older guy that helps the young guy, and the older guy feels like he knows more, but he learns from the young guy, and the young guy feels like he knows more. He's cocky, but he learns off. It's very typical, you know, the love interest and the story of having to win, and if you don't, you lose everything, and having the evil corporate guy and stuff like that. It's all a billion times been done before. But if it weren't for the action sequences, this movie wouldn't be anything, really. It's the action sequences are what makes this movie. The race car sequences are what makes this movie work. You know, I think watching the races happen and watching the behind the scenes stuff with like how they measure the cars win, and learning a little bit about what F1 racing is, the dirty air, and the way the cars work, and how speedful, and like how 1 second could be the difference between a race win and crashing into a wall. And I think this movie really is it's an incredible experience. It's one of the best movies you'll see this year. It's one of the most heart pounding, you know, edge of your seat, holding on, you know, dear life type of films. And this movie's amazing. It really is. It's one of the best racing movies. It's one of the best action movies I've seen in a long time. It's just an incredible film. So overall, to kind of end it there, F1, if you want a very authentic action movie with great blockbuster elements, yes, a typical storyline that has been done a billion times before, I definitely think it's worth a watch. I definitely think it's highly recommended. Once again, if you have an IMAX theater and you can see it in IMAX theater, see it there, because you will not regret it. Yes, it's 2.5 hours, but it is 2.5 hours well spent at the movie theater. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that's gonna be my take on F1 the movie. I do appreciate it. Comments below. Let me know what you think of this movie when you see it, or what do you think of like Top Gun Maverick? Are you looking forward to this? All that good stuff. But otherwise, if you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell. Top to Fun's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.